Mersey Ferry, Royal Irish of the Mersey, for her final weekend in service. So obviously after this weekend, the Royal Irish of the Mersey will be retired from service, but hopefully she will be given a new lease of life, perhaps maybe as a floating restaurant, like her old sister ship, the Royal Daffodil, on the Liverpool side of the river, and people can enjoy the prime piece of Liverpool heritage for many years to come. So just a short insight into the history of the Royal Irish of the Mersey. So she was originally built as the Mountwood, along with her sister ship the Woodchurch, in 1959 at Philip and Son Shipbuilders on the River Dart in Devon. So in January 1960, the Royal Irish of the Mersey, or Mountwood as she was known back then, entered service on the Mersey. She actually sailed under her own steam from the River Dart all the way around Manchester, up the Celtic Sea and around Anglesey into Liverpool Bay down the River Mersey. So she was built to replace some of the quite elegant but old-fashioned coal-fired steam ferries that Birkenhead Corporation prior to the 1960s. Obviously back then diesel was considered, a much cleaner and greener fuel than coal. In the old days, the ferry, like one of the old steam-fired ferries, consumed up to 9 tonnes of coal a day, which was obviously hard labour for the poor stokers down in the engine room. Obviously, interestingly, my late granddad was a stoker in his younger years. I think perhaps that's where the love of ferries was spawned from. Obviously, he really dosed on me in his twilight years, and I used to enjoy fascinating stories of Liverpool in the olden times and the course of the ferries. Now, in her early years, the Mountwood had a reputation for being quite an unreliable boat. She actually broke down in the middle of the river and had to anchor, and then a sister ship, Woodchurch, had to come alongside and then obviously bring the passengers to safety. On another day, despite all engine movements, even back then being instantly controllable from the captain's bridge, she was operating using traditional telegraph orders. So, mistakenly, the captain sent an order down to the engine room for it to come full astern alongside the landing stage at one side. But in fact, the chief engineer gave the order as full ahead. So therefore there's quite a calamitous collision between the Mountwood and one of the old-fashioned ferries, the Clawton, I believe, which was resting at the landing stage. Unfortunately, no significant harm was done. So, obviously the Royal Irish has served the river loyally for the past 67 years, and of course I've spent endless hours of pleasure obviously riding the ferries, both on the cruises and dancing the night away out in Liverpool Bay. You can see behind us it's quite a brown, bouncy and breezy day, but the Royal Irish has a spring in the step and she seems to be making quite light work, and it's a smooth sailing. So obviously she's been flying across the Mersey for the past 67 years, and obviously the River Merseys after the Mersey Ferries after 1990 were then primarily run as a tourist attraction. Like myself, we would go out for the fresh air and the sea views and to enjoy the spectacular waterfront. So she stood the test of time, and in 2002 she was given quite a significant refit. So I'm just about old enough to remember as the Mountwood when she looked very sleek above the waterline, and there was a real old school air of nauticalia. So there's lots of polished brass fittings, bulkhead lights and well scrubbed mahogany decks and seating. And down in the passenger side was the old fashioned radiators with the humongous pipes, which always ensured that even in the harshest winter weather, the passenger saloons, the passenger saloons were always toasty. So in 2002, she had a major refit, so the entire superstructure, apart from a small section of the stern, was removed and replaced with the current superstructure. As you can see now, the funnel was always situated further back to accommodate brand new engines and machinery. So it said that the new engines, as it had to comply with European emission standards, and they consumed 20% less diesel than the original engines. So we're going to go downstairs now and explore the passenger saloons. So here's the original plaque commemorating the Royal Iris. Obviously she was built in Dartmouth in 1959, and she was renamed Royal Iris of the Mersey in 2002 after the significant refit. So just come alongside the Seacombe, and we're going to head upstairs to the bow now. So this is the main passenger saloon. So even with the brown leather seating and wooden floors, it does create that old school nautical vibe. So the main passenger saloon is always warm. You can help go and order nice tea or coffee and light refreshments from the bar, and there's always service with a smile. So we're just on the forward promenade deck now, near the bow. We're just come alongside the Seacombe. We're on the Wirral side of the river, Wallasey. The building you can see that looks like a giant stereo is in fact the ventilation shaft of Wallasey Road, tunnel built in the 70s. Just come alongside now. I always remembered as a kid there'd always be a significant bump in the squeal as the ferry come alongside, and you would have to hold on to your braces, trust me. Obviously the ferry crew and the deckhands have got years and years of experience and they're very skilled in the work. So obviously it's quite a relatively soft landing now. So we're just tying her up alongside. So the ferry normally comes in bow first, and then that swings as it bumps against the landing stage. It swings the stern towards the stage, and then we can tie up and then lower the gangways. Still can't believe it's the final weekend the Royal Iris is in service. Although we do very much looking forward to seeing the brand new ferry, the Royal Daffodil, enter service after she's completed the sea trials. She's currently sitting in Camel Air docks, ready to begin the sea trials, and hopefully she'll be given the all clear to enter service around this summer. Thank you very much for watching. I shall see you. Bye.